Oh man, good morning world. It's another beautiful day. Time to go ahead and go play with some dinosaurs. Wait, what's that? What's that? Is that a angry crowd? What? Alright, I guess I gotta go get ready. I should have expected this. Hi everyone! What are you all doing here on this fine, Saturday morning? What do you mean? What? It hasn't been that long, has it? Wait. 2 months? It's almost been 3? Hell, it might have been 3 by the time this video is going up. Oh god. Oh lord, help me. The algorithm is not going to spare me. This is the end of my channel. Wait, what? Why didn't... I'll deal with that later. But, you know, hey guys, there's not really much stuff I want to do right now. I don't know, burnout's been kind of hitting, but, yeah, I really don't got much else I want to do. I'm sorry, but, you know, there's nothing... Ah! You know, was a brick really necessary, asshole? Wait, why'd that happen again? Am I censored now? Please, no. Oh God. Oh God, no, anything. No, anything but that. No! Excuse me? I'm trying to have a moment here. Do you mind? Well, what do you want me to do? Talk. God, I gotta stop doing that. Well, what do you want me to do then? Lovely crowd that threw 2 bricks at me, by the way, might I add. What the f is wrong with you guys? God. Oh my god. What do you want me to do? Corruption? You're telling me that Phantom finally dropped the final episode of No Week after like what? Half a year? Oh yeah, I'll believe that once another brick gets thrown at me. Okay, that's number 3. Alright, fine. Let's just go ahead and take a... Oh shit, he actually did it! Well, goddamn, Phantom Fear, I am impressed. After, like, what, half a year, this man finally did it. All right, deal. Fine, then, you got me right here. We're going right back to the beginning, folks. I'll finally get back to doing stuff. So you guys can all go home now. You can all leave.
Except you stay.
Well, with them all gone, I guess it's about time we get back to the grind. So, after a whole lot of nothing... Hey there everybody! Welcome back to the Landon Does Stuff Channel. And I know it's been a while, folks, but we gotta get back to doing stuff eventually. And I figured there was no better way to get moving than the series that started this channel in the first place. Yeah, folks, we're once again gonna be covering the Corruption mod, created by both Phantom Fear and Pinch of Prod, of course. As this is a long-running series on the channel, if you haven't caught up with the past few episodes, don't worry. If you go take a look at the description, you should find a playlist with every episode in this series so far, as well another playlist with every video I've made here. So hey, go give both those a look if you want to see some more of the stuff I've done. So yeah, that's about it. At least they should be there, in case if I have to mention and I forgot, and they're not down there by the time you watch this video. The premiere doesn't count though. Go ahead and you can scream in the comments, Landon, where the fuck is my playlist? God, I can't swear anymore. Damn it. Oh, Lord. Oh, God, no. Oh, my God. It's just coming out. I'm so sorry. Oh, my God. It hurts. I can't swear anymore. The YouTube lifestyle is cold. God. It feels so wrong. But anyways, yeah, I figured, you know, go ahead, go give those a look if you want to see more of the stuff I've done. But without stalling any longer, I think it's about time we dive into Hating Simulator. And, you know, see what the corruption left behind in our next week. That being, no. We start our first episode with a little bit of catching up with the crew after, you know, the Implosion of the amalgam of Tank Man. With boyfriend handing girlfriend his coat, Pico walks away, somewhat angry, as the harvester looming in the back of the alleyway decides to show their face to boyfriend. As he turns around to greet the harvester, they just kind of stare blankly at our little blue-haired hero. As he reaches out to shake the jester's hand, the harvester speaks. And, by the way, I just want to mention, boyfriend cannot understand the harvester at all, apparently. Boyfriend is also a well-known guy in the corruption world. I mean, are you really surprised? I mean, look at his feats compared to, I don't know, Daddy Dearest, who was going to be the strongest person in the canon. All he did was kind of just give boyfriend a little wake-up slap. But yeah, the harvester ends up mentioning they hear a whole bunch about him and how he's so cool and awesome. Though, unfortunately, it looks like they're not very fond of our blue-haired hero, as boyfriend's hand lights up much like Soul's did back in Memory Lake after, he gets shocked by the harvester. Yeah, it looks like the harvester just tried to fuck with boyfriend and maybe even corrupt him. And the harvester pulls out their mic and gets ready to rap as we begin our first episode. Now, Pico... Now that's just plain rude. As he shoots the harvester, they recoil back and laugh as they glitch away. Boyfriend glances at Pico with anger, and Pico decides to just run off from boyfriend and girlfriend. Figured one temper tantrum was more than enough, you fucking asshole. If it weren't for this blue-haired fuck that's honestly just a moron, you would still be a monster. Granted, you wouldn't be a monster in the first place if he didn't exist, but the point still stands. With the harvester looming above, kicking a TV down into the alleyway, boyfriend is just, taking some time to inspect his hand when... Oh my god. Boyfriend dies! He passes away! Oh my god, this is so sad. Guys, can we please hit 20 likes for our boy as we mourn the death of... What? He's alive? I'm sorry, how does that make any sense? Alright, fine. As boyfriend is sent into the TV to deal with the monster that the corruption left behind, with boyfriend falling into the void, Kirby style, he's greeted by a glitchy and destroyed version of Senpai, now named Null. And I mean, I guess everything in his world is now named Null because there's nothing left. It's a null object. It's pretty cool technical stuff, actually, if you know. I'm a nerd for that kind of stuff, so it's pretty cool to see this. But it's up to boyfriend to do what he can to save the glitched out game as we begin our first episode. Released on November 4th, 2023, featuring the song Null and Void by Fluffy Hairs. With the screen glitching, Null spazzes out, glitching across the screen for each pose, with each pose being made up of some mangled and glitched out versions of Senpai's sprites. Well, boyfriend keeps his original sprites from hating Sim, no problem with that. Nothing else besides the Dark Void though. I gotta say, that's pretty cool. I love Dark Voids. Honestly, I'm personally a big fan. I got one in my backyard. Watch. Echo! Yeah, pretty cool, ain't it? But yeah, the Void sometimes will post, some nice old dialogue sprites surrounding the two, It's very nice, it's very beautiful, some would even say. But yeah, no, there's not even a health bar in sight. I don't know how I'm supposed to tell if I'm winning or not, but you also begin to notice some cool things, like how the judgment line will just shift and glitch around the screen whenever Null is singing. As well, Null's notes and lines are all great, and possibly showing how boyfriend's that glimmer of light, as his are the normal, original Hitting Simulator colors. And he's that shining hope that Hitting Simulator needs to return to its original state. It seems like it might be the case as boyfriend, is given it all he's got like he normally does. I mean, look at this kid, look at his feats again. I'm just saying, he's pretty good at what he does. The scene ends up glitching out for a split second, fuck. The scene glitches out for a split second with Senpai appearing behind boyfriend, regaining some semblance of his body. Of course, he's, missing, a lot of his body, but hey, it's the small victories that count. Think about it. At least he's got something. That's better than what he started with before. I mean, take the comparison picture of this to this. I think that's a pretty big improvement. He's got a face that you can actually recognize. As well, the background of Roots slowly fades in and out, and you can kind of tell the coder had a really fun time messing around with the judgment line, as it just keeps shrinking and moving around for both boyfriend and Senpai. Look at it go! Look at this! Oh my god, it's having so much fun! Look at it go! It's spinning around, switching together, oh, it's there, it's there! Oh, that's the little screen, oh, look at that! Nice, so fun, look at you, go, judgment line, slay queen, slay! Until, the screen ends up glitching out and fragmenting into hundreds of teeny tiny boyfriend. Must have forgot to switch it to Wumbo, I guess. As the fight begins to close out, it seems like boyfriend is able to successfully begin to repairing Hating Simulator. Great job, boyfriend! Great job! As Senpai quickly returns to his physical form after a small hiccup halfway through, he's looking as normal as he could be for, a destroyed wasteland that was destroyed by a virus that wants nothing more than to cause chaos and devastation to the world that it originated from. But yeah, as the fight comes to a close, it looks like Boyfriend may have went a bit too crazy with the whole singing and saving combo, as he may have accidentally done one thing, and that one thing being, bring back an old opponent that could be his ticket out of here, or the ticket to his death. As we're brought back to the real world for a small cutscene, we're met by the one and only girlfriend. As she calls out for boyfriend, though he's kinda dealing with foreign affairs, he unfortunately doesn't hear her call. But instead, a lone Mommy Mirrorist finds out and absolutely petrifies girlfriend. As we end our first episode. And wow, what a first episode. We have a lot to get to, but hey, we still gotta catch up with Pico. He just kind of ran away and had a temper tantrum. Like, dude, we're in a zombie apocalypse. Why are you running away from the group? You literally showed up for 1 second, you gave an assist for a little while, and then you decided to just vanish. Pico, what the fuck? I like you, man, but that's just stupid. But alright, let's go ahead and go catch up with Pico, starting in our next episode. Oh, that's my comfort character eating their mother. Oh my god. They're cannibals? Oh god, that shit better make me...
Landon, what are you doing?
Crack?
What the fuck?
As Pico finds Skid eating Leela, he does as I'd assume 99% of the population would do and vomit all over the place outside. As he looks to his left, he notices the Harvester collecting a corrupted bully from the Spooky Month series. As Pico watches it and, decides, oh, they're probably dead, he decides to, spare Skid's life. As much as he thinks this is a horrible act, and just so you know, kids,
do not eat your mother. Don't eat her. I know you want to. Actually, I don't know if you want to. If you want to eat your mother, don't do it, please. I know most of you don't want to, but this is just a little PSA. Don't eat your mother. Wouldn't recommend it.
He decides to spare Skid's life, slamming the door shut as the Harvester looks back, noticing Pico, but moving on all the same. It looks like Pico isn't their focus, as, they did want that game with Boyfriend before he rudely interrupted. And speaking of Boyfriend, why don't we just go ahead and go return to Boyfriend and Noel's battle in our second episode, released on December 9th, 2023. Featuring the song... Wait. Hold up, give me 1 second.
Check disc.
Alright, it's Check Disc by both Kazuya and literally no one. And talk about heavy metal as Spirit warps around the screen, this time actually visible and looking like himself. Unlike Senpai, with the void still being pitch black, at least, until... Spirit and Boyfriend begin to freefall, as zeros and ones fill the sides of the screen with the two of them going all out here, with Spirit glitching out left and right with the screen going on the fritz midway through their little fall. As it looks like the game is near destruction, until things finally resume as they were before. Boyfriend and Spirit sound so good here, by the way, with this high-paced, glitchy, and metal rock and roll-esque vibe being given here. Just give these two a listen, man. They absolutely pop off, and I'm fading away. Freefall ending with this insane ass chart as images and text flash on the screen.
I can't see, I can't hear. Help me. Eternal limbo. Who am I?
As, most people would ask when they can't see, touch, feel, hear, really anything. I'd assume that Senpai and Spirit have been going through hell sitting in a black void doing nothing for all of eternity. But as that drug trip ends, Boyfriend pops up for a little bit, takes a little breath, and gets his patent solo pop-off to duet that just steals the show for the entire song, and most of the time the week. I mean, come on, what is this, like the fourth time this shit has happened? I'm just convinced this is a habit of his, but as the two begin to sing together, the Roots background begins to fade in slowly as they hit the drop. The two begin to freefall once again, with colors flowing all around them this time. Wow, color in my background! Holy shit! Yeah, that was a long taunt, wasn't it? Heh. You editing, Landon. You again. You 3 times. I should stop saying that. I'm gonna really hate myself in a little bit. Hands begin to reach out to try and grab at Boyfriend. As he and Spirit keep fighting, he seems to not give a shit. He seems to not care at all. They return to free falling, and the judgment line is just doing that. As the screen keeps glitching out like crazy, you know, I mean, average Tuesday, I guess, the duo soon enough returns to how they did at the start of the episode. Except for, you know, one little difference. One little change. I don't know if you can spot it, but, you know, Hands just trying to grab and possibly strangle or kill Boyfriend. The two keep singing with tensions rising. Boyfriend ends the song with one last hold note as he's pulled into the darkness, with someone typing commands like exit, quit, and help. I'd assume that this is Spirit, judging by how every time the command fails we see an image of Spirit, but it could be Boyfriend, definitely. Spirit glitches on the screen, of course, you know, until finally Hitting Simulator actually ends up crashing, thanks to a null object reference, which, oh my god! Null object? Like the FNF yet? Oh my god, guys, this is so cool! This is so swell! Wow, that's so cool! But yeah, that's the end of our second episode. And hey, really quickly, just because I think it'd be fun, I want to paint a picture for anyone who's watching this past the episode's release date and are just getting into the corruption mod. By the way, welcome. I hope you're having a great time, and I hope you're enjoying this video. I hope it's really helping you, you know, understand the mod. But, oh my lord, we had to wait half a year for this episode. 121 days to be exact. There was a bot on Twitter that I was keeping track of. I believe it was being kept in track by Sai. Very cool guy. Very goated for that, I have to say. It makes my job a lot easier to know how long it took. But by the way, that is almost 3,000 hours of waiting and wondering what the hell happened to this poor blue-haired kid. Like, God, bro. What the hell? I just wanted to see what happened to the little red. At this point, I'd rather just take a Google Doc. God damn. Anyways, it's time for the moment you've all been waiting for. The final episode! After a 6-month wait, we finally get to see what happened to Boyfriend in Hating Simulator. Wait, what? We don't get Hating Simulator first? Why do you always tell me the bad news? What do we get then? Oh, okay, I can deal with that. As we enter our final episode, we're given a quick recap of the cutscene at the end of Noel's first episode, with Girlfriend encountering Mommy Mirrorist as the corrupted twitches and walks towards Girlfriend. She ends up lashing out at Girlfriend, but luckily, she's able to dodge most of her attacks, only getting scratched a bit. And after a little anxiety attack, Mirrorist lets out one last laugh as the battle begins. Being released on June 29th, 2024, featuring the song Bloodlust by Liebert. As we begin the battle in the alleyway, we finally get to see the revised version of Corrupted Mirrorist, and I mean, talk about a glow up. I mean, take a look, folks. Damn! I gotta say, this looks really good. The only thing I'm confused by, that chromatic. That is not Mommy Mirrorist. That is the spawn of Satan. Though to be fair, they're both demons and bad. Just like her weak, and I will never let this die. Seriously, guys, this is gonna be a bit that runs till the day I fucking die. Even when I stop doing FNF content, you're still gonna hear, Mirrorist? Yeah, that was ass. You aren't escaping it. It's too late. But Girlfriend actually ends up keeping her distance, as we're quickly brought to a small cutscene of Mirrorist laughing. As snow continues to fall, the two keep fighting, until Mirrorist ends up trying to ensnare Girlfriend, causing her to finally, grow up some confidence, now standing confidently with the silhouettes of henchmen being flashed on screen. Girlfriend flicks on her powers as the mist rolls in, and I'm not gonna lie, this ain't looking good for her, folks. As she tries to go all out, but hesitates as the perspective shifts, and things go dark, with Vera's silhouette looming inside the darkness. And I gotta say, I love the look of this so much. These recent episodes have begun to lean on the more horrific side of the corruption, and it's great to see as the section ends with Mira screaming out. As we come back to Girlfriend being chased by a spider version of Mirrors in, some random forest. I don't know. The drugs are a wonderful thing. It's soon enough revealed, though, that Girlfriend is, of course, trapped in an illusion. As that's, that mist rolled in, it was just the beginning. Much like Boyfriend, during Estranged. But you can obviously see a giant, difference in power here. While Girlfriend's illusion was a very simple, ooh, look, I'm re-corrupted, but I can't even show all of my details until, 5 minutes in. Ooh, look at me, Boyfriend, I'm so scary. Yeah, no, I mean, this is an actual drug trip. I really have to say, Mirrors, great job on this one. That is a Mirrors W. Mark it on the count. You'll notice there's a lot of L's. That's because our week is too long. It's just been one episode. This bit is never ending. But as the chase carries on, henchmen begin to fill the forest, as we also see a new corrupted form of Boyfriend, named, False Thorn. I think that's a pretty cool name. But luckily, much like her boyfriend, Girlfriend decides to confront the monster that's torturing her. However, it looks like that wasn't enough to end the illusion and wake Girlfriend up. As we keep jumping from, her mind to the real world, Girlfriend's body still stands emotionless, with vines beginning to surround her. Though she luckily hasn't given up yet, but unfortunately, a strong mind only gets you so far. As Girlfriend goes in for the punch to free Mirrors from the corruption, or even herself from the illusion, she's unfortunately entangled in the Mirror's strings. And soon enough, as everything goes black, except for those strings, Girlfriend loses the battle against Mommy Mirrors. Her fate is unknown right now. We don't know if she's been corrupted or not. We didn't get any text saying Girlfriend has been overpowered by the corruption. And with a little thing in parentheses saying again, which would be really funny. I'm not gonna lie, Phantom. I would have laughed my ass off if I saw that. But her fate's unknown for now. But I think it's safe to say if Boyfriend doesn't intervene anytime soon, she's a goner. And yeah, it looks like she's gonna succumb to the corruption once again. As Bloodlust ends on a bitter note, it looks like there's no hope for Girlfriend. But, the battle isn't over yet. It's time we get what we actually came here for, folks. It's time for the one. It's time for the one and only. As we begin our final battle, released once again on June 29th, featuring the song Access Denied by Griskel. Gotta get all that out of the way. I can't go ahead and accidentally not credit the right person. We finally return to Hating Simulator and find Boyfriend just chilling. He's vibing. Until he's found by a glitchy senpai as the two begin to sing. No, oh boy, I've been waiting a long time for this. As we finally get to see what's left of Hating Simulator after Glitch's little power trip. That being a decimated wasteland, buildings and masses of land floating in the nothingness. At least, Senpai actually has a body this time. Yeah, he got his body back thanks to Boyfriend, I'd assume. Though, I guess it's about time, that Senpai actually, starts talking to Boyfriend instead of just trying to kill him. I mean, I think that's a fair thing. I think we should have started with that. Though granted, he probably couldn't speak because of, the whole situation he was in.
What is even left to take from me? And now you are stuck here. Did you forget?
It's finally revealed why they've been so hostile towards our hero. This entire time, the two of them have thought that Boyfriend was Glitch. As, obviously, lines like, what's even left to take from me, and did you forget? Obviously, this entire time, he didn't have eyes before. The only one that did was Spirit, but even then, I don't think he really cared. I think he just wanted to kill Boyfriend just for the fun of it. So, as Boyfriend tries to transfer ownership, his action is unfortunately denied. With Senpai then going on the fridge, trying to deal with Boyfriend. Though Spirit begins to glitch in and out until enough fighting goes on and the two finally decide to give Boyfriend a glimpse into the past and what his corrupted self did to them. As he's given a replay of the events, we get to see what happened from the perspective of both Senpai and Spirit. As we start with the first day where things begin to glitch out, but mostly stay stable, as you can remember from, the first episode way back when. Oh god, that was so long ago. But when he returns for one last hurrah, as the screen melts, the one and only slowly slides into frame. With Glitch Boyfriend taking the reins, we're shown the events of Access Denied so far. Then we jump back to check this. Then Nolan Void. Then Roots. Then Treacherous Thorns. Dead Pixel. And finally, Senpai's Glitch Myth. As Boyfriend drops the controller, finally understanding what his past corrupted self had done to Hating Simulator, he sits there in despair, with Senpai standing with him in the void. He never understood what his corrupted self did. He never really came to realize he was the cause for all of this stuff. To be honest, I don't even think he was ever told or he ever knew that he's the reason why Pico got infected in the first place, right? Like, I mean, who would tell him? Nobody would, right? Like, he'd have no idea that he did it. So having to live with these consequences that he didn't even know he did, he can only imagine, like, what other pain did he cause? As, you know, the two duet one last time, Senpai finally realizes that this isn't the same person as the one that destroyed his world. And Senpai and Spirit give Boyfriend one last chance to move on and never come back.
I never asked you to come back. All I ever asked is to be left alone. Don't come back here. Next time you do, I'll kill you.
And thanks to a helping hand from Spirit, Boyfriend finally escapes Hating Simulator. And just in time, too, as he notices Girlfriend running towards him in a panic. He reaches his hands out, though unfortunately Girlfriend is still stuck in an illusion. As Boyfriend notices Mommy Mirrors, he prepares to rush in to save Girlfriend. But as he falls to the floor, thanks to, you know, that bumpy exit from the game, he trembles, only able to look on as Girlfriend is soon enough going to corrupt once again. But what if I told you the Harvesters still wanted to play their little game? As Boyfriend is decapitated and completely dismembered, he is collected by the Harvester and Noel's week comes to a close. And man, this week was amazing! Oh my god, it was incredible! Oh! But hey, as we come to a close, you know what time it is, folks. That's right, it's tier list time! But unlike usual, I figured we could throw a little spin on the ordinary tier list time. So, without further ado, let's get to it. So, where does Noel's week rank on the tier list? Well, goddamn, this week fucking rocks. I want to get my one nitpick out of the way first, as I normally like to talk positively here. So, let's just get this one very little negative out of the way, so we can just go ahead and blitz through with all of the happy stuff I have to say. Alright? Alright, so, I just want to say, both day 1 and 2 feel really similar. Both in song and aesthetics. Sure, day 2 has Spirit against Boyfriend, but when you're comparing the two episodes side by side, the vibes feel so similar. I don't feel like Boyfriend has done much of anything, at least until, you know, day 3 happens and we get that really cool aesthetic with the wasteland and shit, which we'll talk about later. But I'm pretty sure both episodes either follow an exact same or a very similar loop in how the scenes play out. Like, it starts with the basic Boyfriend, then you get a new sprite, then blah blah blah, you get like a little trippy section, then it goes back, it fixes around, you know, if you know what I mean. I'm probably showing some stuff on screen right now about what I'm talking about. But yeah, they follow a very similar loop. And of course the songs, they are different. It's not like Phantom just used Null and Void twice. But they play a very similar role, and the aesthetics around the episodes does not help to, you know, because I can't really put a different feeling on both. Like, I guess I can, mainly because there are some cool parts, like check discs, pop-off section, where Boyfriend just like his little sigh and then he starts going, and you get to see the Roots background for a second. But yeah, it's got this kind of like rock and roll breakcore kind of style for most of Noel's week. And I hope if we see the week remade, there can be some more differences between day 1 and 2. But for now, the week still works well. And that's all I really have to say negatively. Yeah, one nitpick. It's a really bad week, Phantom. You really did your worst here. I can't believe you do so horrible for us. I can't believe you. So, why don't we go ahead and talk about everything great? Starting with all the cutscenes we got, whether it be the more like rig stuff or the more traditional, it all looks great and flows really nice. I wouldn't be surprised if I saw something like this in the base game, which I know that's something that the team tries to hit for. I know that Phantom wants to say, hey, I want this to look like it's base FNF, but like evil. Woo!
Oh my gosh!
Boyfriend, but purple! And, hey, if I can continue with the art, the sprites during Mirrors and Girlfriend's little fight here look so damn good. Like, comparing these sprites to even stuff like just a couple weeks prior, it looks so much more refined. Like, big praises to sprite artists for doing an amazing job on these because it all looks amazing. Again, it looks like I could go ahead and see this stuff just in base FNF, but there's something I need to talk about. The pixel art! Oh my god, I'm better! I've always been a sucker for pixel art ever since I played, like, I don't know, Pokemon Black and White on my DS back in, like, I think 2011? But, oh my god, I love it in this week. I will not lie, no day 1 and 2 were good, but I felt a little robbed not getting any cool, like, kind of dystopian and destroyed backgrounds, like, improved versions of, like, stuff you saw from Senpai's week. But right when I thought all hope was lost in getting some great stuff, Day 3 comes in and just makes me, oh my god, it makes me so happy. This is by far the best pixel art I've seen in FNF mod in general. And oh my god, this looks amazing. I mean, look at all of this stuff. I am so happy that Phantom made all of these backgrounds after my tweet, by the way. I just want to say, I think I inspired Phantom to go ahead and do it. But this works so well to convey that broken and destroyed and like kind of dystopian feeling without just making notes stutter or a black void, right? No Day 3 is amazing in terms of just storytelling in general. Like when we get that action replay and the pixel art then with glitch in the front. Oh my god. And then like the splashes of Senpai and Spirit. Oh my lord, it makes me freaking. Speaking of which, seeing the replay of events in reverse is awesome to see as the screen melts and glitch slowly slides into frame. It feels like something I could see from an analog horror.
TikTok and stuff like that. If you want to mimic my voice, that's fine. But if you're gonna live under here, you at least have to pay rent. You got it? Fuck you. No, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Not the scariest thing in the world, but you know, seeing glitch again was awesome, and it's nice to see a little bit more creepiness to the corruption. And speaking of creepiness and horror, I love how the corruption is leaning more on some horror elements like the glitch slide, and we get like hallucinations from Mirrors and Girlfriend, which that fight is great by itself. It was cool to see stuff like Mom Spider, False Thorn, and the Undead Henchman. I think that we get to see some cool Undead Henchmen if I remember correctly. Yeah, during that whole chase it was pretty cool. Of course, the songs were great too. As always in Modern Corruption, I don't feel like I really need to say this, but I love all 4 songs on display here. While Null and Void and Check Disc may share some space in my head, and you know, I've already kind of explained why the days feel pretty similar, I think that they both sound good, and although in my opinion Access Denied is actually the worst song of the 4 in terms of like replay value, I think it was still an amazing song when it came to storytelling. I already mentioned before that Day 3 was great with stuff like the action replay, but I'll say one thing right now, Griskel, oh my god, you cook. Whenever there needs to be some like depressing or like sad vibe, you cook so hard. And you can even do like this pumped up, amped up shit like with Memory Leaf. Oh my god, Griskel, you are, oh my lord, you cook so fucking hard. And this is mainly because I'm writing right after Day 3. I'm pretty sure I wrote this. It's been a while since I last wrote on the script, but I wrote this like right after Day 3. So sorry if I'm kind of, you know, like I don't know, meat writing Day 3. But oh my god, everyone did a great job. I just want to say the music, all of it was great. Bloodlust, Check Disc, and Null and Void. It was all amazing, but I really loved Day 3. Day 3 was amazing for me, right? It works extremely well to show both the destruction that the corruption brought to Hitting Simulator and Boyfriend's attempts to try and repair, right? The first half is Boyfriend's kind of optimistic, you know, fighting for a better future, you know, trying to save the world. But then once he figures out what he's done, he just like, he loses all of that like energy and and then Senpai and Spirit both decide to just say, hey, look, we understand it wasn't you who did this, and they realize it was, you know, Glitch that he did all of that, and they put it behind them and give Boyfriend one last chance to never come back. And then the Harvester just kills him? Like, what? And then they, like, what the fuck? Like, how do you just... so with that, like, all being said, what the fuck? I think it's fair to put No Week in S tier. I mean, the songs and visuals are on point. The story is beginning to build up. Because we've kind of just been having a very simple structure to the narrative. And now that we're actually getting some more interesting pieces, like Boyfriend being just possibly killed, which we'll get to that later. Girlfriend being, you know, pretty much screwed. I think she's dead. And the only one that is guaranteed safe, well, even then he could have gotten fucked up by Harvester when they look back at Old 2. Pico. The story is building for something, I can tell. The story is beginning to build up, and I hope we get some payoff to what's going on right now. But speaking of the story, it's theory time! Hello, Internet! Welcome to... I haven't thought of a name yet. Welcome to Stuff Theory! Patent pending. The #1 show on the internet for the #1 moron who thinks his theories are actually important. So, hear me out. What if I told you that Boyfriend isn't dead? I know people have been kind of going crazy over this scene, right? Like, here, roll the clips. What the? No.
What?
Numb!
Getting so
No. So, yeah. What if he isn't dead, though? I have a Twitter thread that's going to be linked in the description that kind of explains the theory more in depth, because I don't really want to rewrite it all. But we know that the Harvester wanted a game with Boyfriend, right? That's obvious when he's like, oh, let's play a game with the microphone. And him and Boyfriend were going to start singing, but then Pico got in the way. So, in order to separate the trio, you know, Harvester TV's Boyfriend for a while, since he knows that Noel isn't going to kill him, judging by his past feats like defeating Nexus Pico. Then Miris gets Girlfriend all for herself, and then Pico runs off because she could kind of tell Pico was a hothead. And then that leads to, you know, Boyfriend coming back out after Noel. And what's a better way than bringing Boyfriend to their domain besides, you know, stitching him up or cutting him up and then stitching them back together once they get there, right? Again, I'll link my little post on Twitter and I'll, you know, let you read it. I think it's a pretty good idea. And I think that's where we're going to end up next episode. Boyfriend is going, you're going to hear like sounds of like stitching and like repairing. And Boyfriend's going to be healed up and challenged by the Harvester and however many corrupted that the Harvester had collected beforehand. Because keep in mind, again, no Day 2 cutscene with Pico. The Harvester doesn't leave when they cube that corrupted person. I don't know what you call it, but they don't leave when they collect that corrupted person. They leave with Boyfriend though, and I don't think that's a coincidence. But yeah, that's about everything I have to say. I think we're gonna end up, next episode is gonna be either like kind of like a filler episode, so people are still wondering what happened to Boyfriend, and we'll probably get a cutscene that tells us where Boyfriend is. Maybe it'll be like Pico vs. Skid or like Pico vs. the Harvester or something. But I just think that our next episode is going to be Boyfriend versus the Harvester. Wow, I just had a brain fart there. Sorry about that, folks. But yeah, that's about everything I have to say here, folks. This week was amazing, especially Day 3 and Miris vs. Girlfriend, of course. I hope Phantom and the team are going to keep hitting us with this kind of quality, and I have a really weird feeling that we're in the end game here. So, with everything being said, folks, my name is Landon, and I've done all my stuff for the day. I hope you enjoyed watching as much as I did making, and hey, I'll be sure to see you all next time, which will hopefully, you know, be less than like 3 months.